Hello, fellow citizens of the United States. I go by the name of Will Plansky. As a child, I grew up in environments filled with dedicated social workers and teachers. My oldest sister is a graduate from Villanova University, and she spent the first 2 years after college working at a hospital as a psychiatrist and as a therapist. When my sister was in the midst of working at this hospital, I was living with her. I could see the rigorous hours of work that she was putting in, often all day and all night. I could see the mental and physical toll that this work was having on her. Therefore, I began to do a lot of learning from therapists and professional doctors on the mind. I gained a great knowledge on the mind, which allows me to credibly advocate that social workers should be getting more funding in America. Furthermore, I have a great knowledge on teaching as I interned my senior year as a teacher, and I also come from a family of teachers as my sister, my aunts, my uncles, and my grandparents were all certified teachers at some point in their lives. Therefore, today, I present you the argument that social workers and teachers should be getting more funding in America. I believe that more money put into these programs could limit the amount of depression, mental illness, and suicide rates that we see in America. According to mental health data and publications from the CDC in 2018, mental illness was a rising issue as 50% of all Americans were said to have mental illness at some point in their lives. To add, the same article said that in the age brackets of 18 to 44, depression was the third highest rate of hospitalization for all Americans. Therefore, this is an issue that is very important to me as a college student. It's also important to high school students, and it's also important to people who are 20 plus years older than me. As mental health numbers continue to rise in America, transitively so do overdose numbers. According to the opioid overdose death maps from the CDC Injury Center in 2018, an average of 41 people were overdosing on opioids each day, which tallied to 15,000 deaths that year. I believe with more funding given to social workers, we would see a drop in overdose rates. I believe that the front line of healing would first come with communication, therapy, education, and learning, rather than going to medicine and pills as the first option. While we are talking about overdose issues, this is not the only issue. Depression is something that people in America are living with daily. For example, according to the depression statistics from the NBSA in 2017, 17.3 million Americans were living with depression. That's a lot of people. Therefore, more funding, in my opinion, would decrease these depression rates and would allow for better and more established professionals to do their work. This would allow for an alternate form of healing, which would then transitively drop depression and drop overdose rates. To conclude, I experience mental illness and depression on a first-hand basis. I take medication, and I am part of the statistics that I mentioned earlier. However, when I went to seek help, I think people weren't there for me, teachers and therapists, due to underfunding. I hope that the next generation of children don't have to deal with the issues that I had to deal with because social workers and teachers will be getting more funding in America. Thank you.